Fast forward, you need come out China, you saw AGH politics are winning. But Castor said training books make headlines. Najimber na EDB esomo ewa nedim ni ahom braksiemo. Stroke say emonra yinsim. Onu ayeko yinsim ora timu no. Na me no ka say Ghana forodo na etimi I told mu hard powered questions ahodo be say so far no what the kind of investigations are my no. What is the progress like? Akusi say, just a to say, as a normal be a train in Nasi will be so. Ama, this year, we team Nankasano, as you only say, as a good son. But, NPC for attracts at this point in time. A war, a key point, so, omo ajambre na omo boy in Chimupa would how far. Cases are hodo are oral team no itimi edeko dan omampanyin so far akwa go true yen sembre iboba wram na yahwe ne yako ani de ba age politics are winning
FRCS as if there's nothing to learn from. Some of the most innovative legal instruments, laws that were passed within those systems, those eras, are things that we should have learned from in terms of how we deal with oral. There are parts of it that we should have considered, okay, which aspects of this would be good for commissions of inquiry which are televised? Because oral is also about attitudinal change and ethic, societal ethic. That if people are seeing in terms of commissions of inquiries that are televised, if I was president, I would put oral on display on national television. The people should see how much loot that we are talking about. The people should see the kind of mess we are talking about across several industries, complemented with the investigations that have been done, complemented with the prosecutions, complemented with the number of private practitioners we are bringing on board, the special counsels we are appointing, like, Martin was suggesting about that appointed, that you're sorry to lead investigations in terms of this particular deal or that. So, if there was seriousness and we saw this as an existential crisis, our approach to it would determine how we deal with it, I would say. Prof.
No, you see, I was a bit worried. My senior Kofi Bento was saying so many things. Some of them that I think he landed on the point. Imponderable objections to them, but he said plenty things. So then I forgot. But I want to say that it is unfair to say a promise to recover all loot without giving a periodization to the promise. Overhypes that promise. I think that in the lead up to the 2024 elections, we had all seen the extent to which lootings have gone on. And there was a promise that should power be won, these loots will be recovered. And there was no periodization. It was not one of those promises that the president said, in 100 days, I'm going to recover all loot. So I want to believe, and we all are reasonable people, we know that the president was minded about the fact that in trying to recover all these loot within the practice of a democracy, you're not just going there to be just seizing people's, stuff. You are going to resort to the law and legal processes, which we all know that the processes are problematic. We know that the processes are problematic. And so, rather than appreciating or interrogating the status quo with regards to the problematic processes, we are using the problematic processes to criticize the great promise whose implementation is ongoing. I think it is unfair. We should rather call out the sometimes deliberate delays within the processes. Nobody here, your boss here, will not allow all the entire staff in media general to go on leave. But why do we have a process that allows all judges and all lawyers to go on leave at a go?
Some courts are working.
No, some courts are working. But emergency. But generally, a preponderant majority of you guys are on leave. So why all these countries...
I think some education there must be a reason.
Let me make the point. Let me make the point so they all come in. Let me make the point. I mean, I kept quiet.
Prof, yeah.
You've gone and paid bribe to me.
But there's a point of correction.
Yes, you correct. That's what I'm saying. My point is that we have a certain legal system that allows all lawyers and judges to go on leave, or a preponderant majority of them to go on leave at a go. And this fits into the delays, in our legal processes. And so my point is, it is up to us not to accept the delays and status quo as norm. Oh, that is how it is. As the axis of justice delivery system grinds slowly. And that's what we all say, without also appreciating the fact that sometimes justice delayed will be justice denied. Yeah. Okay, so rather than saying oral was is an overhyped promise, I would want us to appreciate or to tell Ghanaians that, look, it was a good promise, but its implementation has been slow because of the problematic legal processes we have, as a people. And then let's begin to interrogate the legal processes and the delays, the attendant delays. Let's interrogate and make recommendations, for reform. Because like he rightly said, it's like we have not learned from how things were done in the past. I think that we must be interrogating or questioning the status quo, especially the ones that border on delay. But for me, so long as the oral processes are going on, I think we are fine. And it is important that, as I indicated earlier, respect to Martin, it is important that we always communicate and tell the people what is being done in the drive to recover all loot. It is important that we let the people, we carry them on board. It is when we are carrying them on and we are letting them understand what is being done, and it is when we are letting them appreciate the fact that the government means well, but there are delays. Like you said, you go and speak for 30 seconds and then they adjourn the case for 3 months, and you go and speak for another 1 minute, they adjourn for. It is important that you carry Ghana, you feed all this information to the good people of Ghana, so that when they also begin to mount pressure, it shapes the conduct of judges. When the judges know that the people are now being intolerant of our delays. Some of the delays, you guys are all lawyers, apart from me and my Medina Lotto forecaster.
He said now he's no longer a Lotto forecaster.
Lotto forecaster in quote. Apart from, you are all lawyers, and you know that sometimes some of the delays are deliberately occasioned. You know it.
Yes.
So please, I would favor every move at recovering the loots of Ghana. And if there are delays, and the delays are creating an impression as if nothing is being done, it is important that we feed what is practically happening, into the public domain, so that we'll be able to allow the public to also own the processes, and where they think that there are inordinate delays, they also bring a certain pressure to bear on the system. It is only when we begin to put that kind of pressure on system that will force people from shying away from some of the sources of delays. And this is what I want to say about that. Now, I am open to your education about the leave. You are all going on leave at the same time.
Okay. Who does that? Yeah, so the thing is that this practice is over a century years old.
It's a colonial relic.
It's a colonial relic. It must go. We must interrogate and challenge it.
It serves a very useful purpose. Look, the stress of legal practice. When you mean practice, Monday to Friday you are in court.
Doctors have stress.
Everybody is stressed. Everybody is stressed. Yeah. So stagger it. Can't we organize it? Okay, today this section they are on vacation. Martin, I must see you.
Everybody should go on leave.
I must see you. We all go. Days. But people they bring their leave, and then you tell them, no, you people go. The three of you, you can go, and then let this one remain. And then the next time these ones will go. Can't we manage it? Can't we manage it such that?
Okay, so
please just a minute. The actual correction hasn't come. The correction is this: not the whole legal system goes on leave. Circuit courts are working. I've been in court this week. All right, there are online courts. They are working, and there are emergency judges. They are working. But the fundamental point remains that the justice system goes on break for a certain number of months every year, and that's anomalous. It's a colonial relic that allowed the foreign judges to travel back to the UK and come. We are continuing, it doesn't make sense. So, no, we are not saying we shouldn't go on leave.
No, he's telling you the historical antecedent.
No. He says we are tired and everything. I'm allowed to. Yeah. I'm saying it doesn't make sense for, like he's saying, for most of the system to just shut down, okay, and everybody goes. So I'm saying, let us kind of stagger it, have an arrangement where it runs. Because look, like you're saying, I go to court, last week I was in 2-3 different courts. You speak for, let's say, an hour or two, it's adjourned for 4 months. We are in next year, as we speak. The court calendars are in next year. I got a date in March of next year. All right? So look, there's such a backlog that it doesn't make sense for us to be continuing what was a colonial relic. We need to re-engineer the thing.
We need 24-hour courts.
So what happens
we don't need 24-hour
in the UK,
Absolutely.
In the UK, the US and other Western countries, it's there. They still have it. They still have it, and it's for a good purpose. As I've said, look, from experience, don't touch the vacation. What we need to do, it serves a very useful purpose. I mean, come on, you go to court, you get tired. The stress is unimaginable.
Engineers get tired.
So what we do now, ours is different. Ours is good to sleep within the problem.
No, but you want to. So see, the divergent views are saying that. No, Martin, don't say that. It's okay. All go to sleep with our problems.
Okay, thank you.
I am told. I speak in my sleep, and I'm always talking about what.
Oh my God. So let me end this way quickly. So the thing is that, yes, let's deal with the backlog. Okay, that's where the challenge is. Yes, the courts here, a lot of the courts here are choked. So we need to employ more judges. That's the problem. We need to employ more judges, especially in Accra.
You should become a judge.
Oh, no. Who will make the noise here? That's the thing. I've thought about it, but I think we need more noise here. Oliver and etc. We need to stay here. Of course, someday, why not? When I've left for about maybe 10 years to retire, I can look at it. But now we need more people to hold government to account here. You say, so if we employ more judges, then they will be able to take some of the backlogs. Then we can have speedy justice, because just as you said,
and modernizing the legal system.
Excellent. When you go into the court system, the rate at which the
transcription software.
Yes, exactly. You go to the UK,
transcription software.
The court is in session, and you know that even part of the transcription software, it goes to Barbados. Can you imagine?
The next
outside
day you have
the UK. So you have a court system in the UK, they are talking, and somebody's in Barbados, the Caribbean, working, trying to produce a transcript, etc. And we are here, you know, the fast track system, we tried it. There were these recorders, then eventually they got out of fashion. Long story short, now we don't have any more recorders. So we need a modern justice system.
We don't have fast track courts again.
Oh, now all the courts have become fast track.
They are slow courts. Listen, you say one thing, it takes
final point, Oliver,
30 minutes to make your point.
Chief Justice listen, Bafubody was come. Bafubody, Chief Justice, we beg you, is that we need reforms in the bailiff system. Right? There are not enough bailiffs. The bailiffs are too few.
Electronic service process.
Electronic services. Use email.
Millions of graduates home. Let's pay for that extra. Or you
Martin,
the thing is,
let me tell you an experience. I mean, some students took the university to court, and I think I happened to be there to witness the process. The lawyer was talking. And he was dictating to somebody to.
That's our fast track court.
He was dictating. He was dictating what he wanted to say.
Yes.
And I couldn't start.
It messes with your mind badly.
And you say that we can.
We will
in spite of all these things, we should oral should go quickly.
So knowing that, you should have been careful to make.
No. I mean, the process. The point is that we must recover every loot, and that cannot.
Nobody is arguing with that.
That cannot be anything. Any promise that you can.
Nobody is.
So I think he indicated quite clearly that he supports oral.
Yes.
It is the how that probably
The
is
system
where
is
they.
not.
So it is the inefficiencies in the judicial system that is impacting the delivery, the speedy delivery of the expectations of oral. That's another issue that will have to be dealt with. But, you know, a number of you are sending messages about the lamentations of the lawyers about the legal system. This is what happens when you have a lot of lawyers at the table. They'll talk about their problems and what has to be done to improve the system, which is to the good of all of us. It's actually to the greater good, because in the end, if the systems are improved in judicial delivery systems in this country. It goes to the good of all of us. Mr. Nakwa is going to leave us at this point because the stories behind the data you put out is quite clear, because then you're able to deduce why the sentiments are declining about the government's commitment to fighting corruption, because people say they don't see so much action about oral. But now we have an understanding of why that could be the case and what could be happening in the few months ahead of us. The president did give an indication of the oral cases and what is going to be done in the next few weeks. When is the legal vacation over?
So it's about 9th, the first Monday after the first Friday of October.
Okay, so that's
The second week of October.
Look at all this.
Second week of October.
Just said that it was for foreign judges to go and visit their family. So
By UK, so the US, so that many other countries.
Yeah, but
Thank you. This is what the president said about what's going to be happening when the legal vacation is over on the oral cases. Let's take a look at this.
That's what I'm
Can you?
Yeah, with regards to oral. Send out kind of NPP address almost the Shishabi by Yemra say abine woody case be home say ebia wafesika na bibia o akwenya ubetimi aka say you any aban case na mode kwedu amode bomeno me sande sika na say agudie bia na say bibia mode bomi kwedu no me sande aba se ne be ya momfa me nkoto how do they call imprisonment if you say momfa me nkoto if you say enti ayemra eda ho enti obi a yabɔ no kwedu bia ɛwɔ tumi sɛ ɔbɛka sɛ you ɛne yɛntwa so na memfa sɛ imra na yɛngyae saa ɛyi no enti ɛno ɛnyɛ aban ɛna ɛbɛka ɛyɛ nipa yɛde na kogyina court and so sɛ ɔka sɛ o mungyae asɛm no mu na memfa sɛ imra na sɛ agodie bi a mefa yɛ memfa mra na sɛ japadie bi a mefa yɛ memfa mra na
That's the president talking. Also, a question about the plea bargain, which you describe as the deal, which obviously got some reactions. Quite a number of your messages. This one here says, "Good morning." It says, so if the courts are that slow, as all your lawyers at the table are saying, how come Apenyomakin got speedy judgment same day? You want to answer that?
These are some of the issues that came up during the removal of the Chief Justice. So I can't comment since I was one of the lawyers involved.
For me, it simply means that if the courts want to be, they can be faster.
Right.
Right. There are institutional strictures, hard areas. And the question is, why should somebody jump the line? I mean, in the Demelevo case we both were in, it stayed there till the matter was moot. Okay, and I think that was deliberate. So when they want to, they can be faster.
So the courts can be deliberately slow, and they can be deliberately fast as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that one you can.
But it doesn't discount the structural problems.
Yes.
It's just a jumping of the queue for some cases.
Yes.
But the structural problems still persist.
Okay. Good. You remember the cases where judges say they will sit a day on daily
night,
basis?
yes.
Remember the Judge Kwesi case?
Yes.
Yeah, the judge said we'll sit daily, and eventually I see that she was able to finish in good time when this government, the new administration. Then you remember the NAM1 case, and then there was another case that it was said that they would do on daily basis. That one, the public very happy about it. Is it Akuffo case or something? Which one? Judge Kwesi. But yeah, that's the one we're not happy about, right? Yes, because we're now pointing figures that why were they not doing that in other cases? Yes,
but clearly, it cannot be done for other cases. They'll burn out.
Right.
So that kind of thing cannot go on all the time. But there are some structural problems that can be solved. For instance, today we have, even on your phone, sufficiently good transcription software. Okay? About 7 years ago, I and some guys who are involved in business process outsourcing proposed a system by which people will transcribe, and in 24 hours you have the court report. Okay, of course, it takes time for some of these things to catch up, but I'm saying that it is possible for us to stop this practice of lawyers having to dictate, to somebody typing. Okay, it even messes with your mind. So those can be dealt with, and that will be the challenge of whoever becomes Chief Justice, the new Chief Justice that is coming on. We can modernize the courts and reduce some of these delays.
And talking about the new Chief Justice, that's the next issue, because then it dovetails into the kinds of changes happening in the judiciary as we speak. Earlier in the week,
we and some who team course or channel so moment so Jim Award as any so bad in the Dumbi Dominion. Yabasamba room na yasumu yiba ha age politics are any.